Okay.
Let's just get straight into it with the trailer for Path of Exile Necropolis.
Let's see. Let's see. Get me excited. Get me wet. Come on. Come on.
Cold flesh, dirt, maggots, and ghosts.
Yes.
Our job is to keep them where they belong.
Ossuary.
It's your first night, so you'll need
This is the guy from Harry Potter.
a ghostly lantern for ghastly tinkering.
Is this a separate map? Was I right? Was I right?
You'll learn to peer into the souls of the dead.
You make your own elites?
You'll learn how to twist them.
You change them? Make your own map, dude.
In the Necropolis,
Oh my god.
you can pilfer shiny things from a corpse. But you can pilfer glorious things from a soul. I need a
Bosses.
grave digger.
Give me bosses. The Necropolis League. Okay, let's go. That's a portal effect. Nice. That's a reward. That's a reward. Tier 17 maps. Tier 17 maps. Multiple battles past. Multiple battles past. Yes. Scarab overhaul. I told you that's a scarab. I told you the pink scarab. New penultimate boss. Uber bosses. Quality of life. Oh, that looks nice. More transfigured gems. We got it. Okay, next. That's a boss. That's another boss. That's Lycia, right?
The job's hard.
That's nice.
Pays good. What do you say?
Oh, that's nice. That's so good.
In the
Okay,
Necropolis
let's see.
you will encounter Undertaker Aramor, a man collecting the scattered spirits of the Eternal Empire for a mysterious
Switch Sanctum and Metamorph, yeah. I mean, Sanctum still exists.
These spirits have begun to haunt the monsters of Rayclast, unleashing their ancient fury and sorrow onto the world. The Undertaker will provide you with the Lantern of Aramor, a powerful family heirloom which can illuminate the wrathful spirits haunting monsters throughout Rayclast.
Okay.
With it, the Undertaker hopes to employ you to rid Rayclast of this menace, and further his cryptic cause.
Okay.
The lantern can be used when entering any new area. When peering through it, you can examine the spirits haunting that area.
There's a titties.
The lantern also allows you to manipulate them, letting you configure which monsters are affected by which mods. It would be wise to take your time with your decisions here, for the spirits are not forgiving.
Okay.
When peering through the lantern, you can also see extra details about the packs of monsters in the area. Rowers here are considered common, whereas the water elementals are more scarce. If you want things to be easier, you can put the more difficult spirits on the elementals, which you'll encounter less often.
That elemental has
We've
tits.
tried to make sure that by engaging with the lantern, you
Expedition
are able
boss,
to
yes.
intelligently
One
control
was.
the difficulty in the Necropolis League. The spirits come in a number of forms which represent the danger they pose. For example here, the
1, 2, 3,
infested
4.
vultures are servant haunted, causing them to deal a small amount of increased damage.
Okay.
But the Vol's Vanguard are noble haunted, causing them to deal a large amount of increased damage. As you reach higher level areas in Rayclast,
How did this work? How will this work in maps?
That are haunting monsters will generally increase. Your game knowledge can help you here. If you're aware of the composition of the monster pack,
okay.
this means certain mods will be easier to manage.
You
For
can
example,
click the
mod
lantern or
that
not.
increases a pack's damage for every monster killed has no effect on packs with a single monster, like a Devourer. However, if we found a spirit that makes the strongest monster in a pack deal 100% more damage, well, I'm going to avoid the Devourer. You might have noticed that the Lantern of Aramor provides other useful information, such as the types of abilities monsters use, or the damage types they deal.
Yeah, righteous fire
For
with the
those who are
fire
less
being
familiar
red.
with how these monsters work, this can be a great way to learn what you're up against.
This is going to be amazing.
The spirits are constantly moving throughout Rayclast, so if you are finding a campaign area too difficult, you can just wait a few minutes and peer through the lantern again to see what's changed. Of course, powerful spirits beget powerful rewards. There are two reasons why you might want to face a challenge now and then. Firstly, Not all the spirits are malicious. Sometimes the monsters aren't haunted at all, but are instead devoted. These can grant basic rewards like increased experience, or bigger rewards like spawning the Nameless Seer, an NPC that will grant you a single unique item after you defeat all of the packs.
The one that Ray found in
the more
in the league.
monsters you defeat in the previous area before using the lantern, the more likely the devoted monsters will appear in the next area. Monsters haunted by higher tier spirits will increase the chance of the devoted appearing even more, meaning that sometimes it's worth putting the hardest modifier possible on very common monsters, if you're brave enough.
See, you can either click on the cathedral rooftop or on the lantern.
To customize the danger and rewards as much as they can. Aramor is an Undertaker, and you can probably guess what we're taking to him. The second main reward from the Necropolis League is monsters with unresolved anguish. Once slain, their corpses need extra care from the Undertaker, and he will offer to take them back to the Necropolis and store them in the
reward. That portal is the reward. That portal has to be the reward. Give me the reward. Give me that portal.
Visit the morgue to view the monsters.
I want that portal, man.
And then get to work burying them in one of many graves in Aramor's cemetery. For example, we will bury this Katava's Herald. Aramor's mysterious soul experiments can coalesce powerful items. Here I've chosen to create a pair of boots.
Actually pay. That portal is going to be 38 challenges. That has to be 38 challenges.
These boots are useful for my character, but aren't exactly what I hoped for. And this is where the Necropolis crafting system really shines. You'll have noticed that the corpse we collected earlier had a crafting effect on it. In fact, all collected corpses do. If you bury multiple corpses in the cemetery, all adjacent corpses can be exercised at once to create one item.
Yep.
All of the crafting effects on those corpses
apply
to that same item. This allows you to have either one or many different crafting projects ongoing in the cemetery. For example, next time I try to create
Graveyard Keeper,
I could bury corpses that increase the chance of getting move speed modifiers. To go further, I could use these to generate higher tier modifiers. Then, I could try to bias it towards being an evasion pair with this. Finally, I'll apply some crafting effects that improve the probability of getting good rolls.
Oh my god.
Now, let's craft our item and see what we get.
That's too long, by the way.
As you can see now, we have a much better pair of boots, forged from the souls of our enemies.
It's cool.
You could even use the entire cemetery to craft one item. There is always something you can do to try and ensure your item will be as best as it can be.
This is insane.
Really crazy grave crafts.
This is insane, by the way.
If you are lucky, you might find corpses with meta crafting modifiers. These can be buried to manipulate your crafting projects in more drastic ways. This one increases the potency of all crafting effects of adjacent undead corpses.
Oh my god.
Another meta crafting modifier gives a chance to drop an extra item from your craft, with all the same crafting outcomes applied.
This is going to be amazing.
All you have to do is bury a lot of undead monsters.
This is too long.
You can also craft new unique items exclusive to the Necropolis League using this system.
What is this?
As you explore Rayclast, you might find the corpses of famous Eternal Empire families.
Oh.
And when you bury an entire family together and exorcise them, they will thank you for the unique specific to their lineage. For example, the Navalius.
That's too fucking long, dude. That's a new unique.
I'll give you a moment to check that out.
Flask effect duration, flask reduced effect, reduced flask effect. Nice.
You can use other corpses alongside them
skills and radius
mods, manipulate the values of explicit mods, and more. In this case, with the Parandus Pact, you can even change the modifiers it generates.
Also grant +5.
This unique is a jewel which adds extra stats to passive skills in a radius when socketed into the passive skill tree. The stats it adds are randomly generated, but you can bias it towards a specific type by using other crafting effects, such as this one, which increases the chance of getting life modifiers.
Okay.
Let's see what we get.
This league is not going to be for beginners. When it comes to this.
Damn, we didn't get it this time. I guess we're gonna have to go and collect more corpses. Of course, you can trade the corpses away to other players. All
Okay.
you need to do is purchase empty coffins from the Undertaker
Okay.
and use them on your corpses in the morgue, which will
That's fine.
itemize them.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
Another item in the Necropolis League that you can find are
Jar down with
Embers
the
of
crafting.
the All Flame.
Crafting this league is going to
These
be
are monster
yeah.
spirits that remain living in the All Flame, a powerful ancient artifact of Rayclast. And you can set them free by placing them in the Lantern of Aramor and defeating them. These embers drop throughout Rayclast as itemized packs of monsters. You are able to use these packs to replace the packs in areas. For example, we have found this All Flame Ember on top 4. We can now go to enter the next area.
Tattoos
and replace
are
one of the monster
back!
packs in here.
Tattoos
You
are
can see we
back!
have also gotten one of the default
Yes!
modifiers to appear. We can
Yes!
pair up the Karui ancestors with this
Oh,
monster,
tattoos
making
are
them even
back!
more rewarding. Let's go ahead and replace the tentacle
Oh.
miscreations.
Tattoos
However,
are
when replacing
freaking
packs, you want to
back!
double check their density, as the new pack will inherit the density of the replaced pack.
Oh,
The
dude,
Karui
so
ancestors
good.
we have now added to our area can even drop basic variations of tattoos. If you aren't aware, this is an item type from the Trial of the Ancestors League,
Yes.
which can be used on passive skills to change
Yes.
what they do.
Yes.
There are many different types of itemized packs. You
Oh.
can find Breach and Legion monsters that drop splinters.
Oh,
Untainted
these are
packs that
fine. These are
provide
good.
insane amounts of
Tattoos, dude.
experience, and even simple
Tattoos,
frogs,
dude.
which can be used to replace
Tattoos.
difficult monsters to make life easier.
Oh.
And of course, these Ember monsters can be raised as specters too.
Oh my god, yes, nice.
Finally, let's discuss how this league
Don't
works
worry,
in
Ray.
in-game maps.
Okay.
Each in-game map
Okay.
will allow you to manipulate it using the lantern on the map device UI. However,
Now,
instead of randomly cycling every few minutes, it is fixed to that map. Once you view the map through the lantern, you cannot remove it from the map device. So you can't trade that map away now that you've seen it as too difficult for you, or has monsters in it that you'd rather avoid,
but can you
like porcupines.
not have monsters?
We're also trying something new this time around. During the Necropolis League, there will be support for the League on the Atlas passive tree. Multiple clusters will be there, allowing you to enhance the gameplay, customize it, and even change its behavior in meaningful ways.
They want to make the
One
score.
way that you can change the crafting in a meaningful way is with the Prospero's Wager Keystone.
Oh, PoE for dummies
With
goes
this
brrrr.
keystone, all the monsters with unresolved anguish come with this crafting modifier, which causes them to generate a random craft when buried. This means instead of pre-planning your crafts, you have to adapt to them on the fly to get the best results. These clusters will not be available in Standard League.
Okay, no,
In
nothing in
324,
standard.
We've made a
Good.
plethora of changes to the endgame.
Oh my god, that's
Introducing new
awesome.
bosses, adding another tier of maps,
Endgame changes, let's go.
streamlining the
Uber,
Atlas.
Uber, Uber, Uber,
The
Uber.
most difficult and most rewarding content in Path of Exile can be found in Uber Pinnacle bosses,
Well,
such
yeah.
as the Maven and the
Rewarding.
Searing Exarch. Currently, the only way to access these bosses is by allocating specific keystones on
Please,
the Atlas
kill the
passive
regular
tree.
versions, get the key, kill
While
Uber.
this system offers a nice element of control,
Please.
it causes a problem. Rewards and access to the non-Uber variants are now economically priced around the rewards of the Uber fights.
Yes,
This
do different
means
keys.
it is wasteful to run
different
the
keys.
non-Uber variant
Do different
instead
keys.
of simply selling
Please,
them.
do different keys.
Another problem that we noticed is the difficulty jump between the Pinnacle and Uber Pinnacle content was relatively large, and there wasn't obvious content that could bridge this gap. Many players would give up on their characters before being able to defeat the Uber Pinnacle bosses.
Obviously.
In 324, we will be making some changes to this. We are removing the keystones that give access to the Uber Pinnacle bosses from the Atlas tree, and
Okay.
instead we'll be adding a new set of fragments that give you access to this
Yes!
content. Where do you get these fragments? We are adding a new tier of maps, Tier 17 maps,
Yes!
which not only give you access to the Uber Pinnacle content, but
Good.
also test your characters in new ways.
Good.
They feature a new set of bosses,
Lycia?
Uber monsters, and a new tier
Lycia
of
and-
modifiers that can
and,
roll on the
beyond?
maps. There are 5 new Tier 17 maps in total, with some
Who's
surprising
this?
boss
I don't
fights
care.
at the end.
Thanks.
We'll look at a couple today, and the rest you'll have to discover for yourself.
Very
First,
good.
We have the Citadel map. This map contains an ancient Kalguran citadel.
Yep.
you will encounter many expedition monsters as
Farming
you pick up
strat,
the pack
indeed.
throughout the map.
Very good.
At the end, you will fight Uber Uhtred. This is a version of a boss from Expedition League, with all its abilities and mechanics enhanced. Uber Uhtred will even be able to summon 2 other expedition bosses to aid it during the
Very good. Uber. Okay, good. I was right. More Uber
we
bosses.
have the Fortress map. This map is an impregnable fortress, guarded by monsters from the Heist League.
Yep.
At the end, you will encounter an Uber version of the Unbreakable.
Yep.
Again, it has enhanced abilities and mechanics you'll have to learn and
Yep.
overcome.
Good.
Each
Can I
of the
KBF
tier
build?
17 map bosses has a chance to drop a unique item. allowing
Katarina, by the way. Uber Katarina.
However, these
With
aren't
Abyss
entirely
bosses.
new unique items.
With Abyss stuff.
Instead, we've taken other unique items, removing them from the core drop pool, and rebalancing them to fit here.
Yes.
One example is this reworked version of Wraith Lord.
Is it now
It
useful?
has 4 Abyss sockets, and allows you to summon an additional Spectre for each Ghastly Eye jewel socketed into it. Another example is Mana Storm. This has been rebalanced to grant a lot more damage than before, alongside some impactful mana stats. You
Dude!
can get lucky rolls. Alongside adding tier 17 maps, we have also changed the Uber Pinnacle bosses to have completely distinct unique item drop pools from their non-Uber
Thank
counterparts.
God!
This means
Yes!
there is a reason to farm both versions.
Fuck, yes,
Let's
good!
take a look at the Shaper versus the Uber Shaper.
Okay.
The Shaper will drop these uniques.
1, 2, 3, 4, okay.
Voidwalker, Shaper's Touch,
Yes.
Solstice Vigil, and Dying Sun.
Okay.
Whereas the Uber Shaper will drop these. Echoes of Creation, Sublime Vision, Entropic Devastation,
Yes!
Starforge,
Thank
and a new
you.
unique belt called
Thank
the Tides of
you.
Time.
That's fine. Oh my god, that's actually good. Oh my god, that's Pathfinder. What
Another
the fuck?
example of a new unique is
Thank
this
you.
helmet from the Uber Eater of Worlds. Ravenous Passion.
Skin, rage
And
of
these
spending
gloves
mana,
from the
rage.
Uber Searing Exarch.
Arcs
The
with
Celestial
fortification.
Brace.
Very
Each of the
good,
Uber Pinnacle
thank
bosses has a new
you.
unique added to their drop pools.
Yes.
We've
Yes.
identified another major problem with the endgame we'd like to address.
Masters.
Every expansion added to the game, we have been increasing the complexity of running maps.
Yes.
It's at the point now where a player must repeatedly execute a large sequence of steps to run maps efficiently.
Okay, yes.
It can be easy to forget critical steps, and it can be tiring to repeat them.
Yes.
To solve this, we are removing some systems, but are keeping what is good about them. The 2 main systems we've removed are Sextants and the Master Mission Selector. It is not our intention to dull the content, however.
Okay.
Completely reworked Scarabs to include most of the options that were previously covered by those mechanics.
Okay.
And many, many more.
So, rework of
Let's
Scarabs.
take a look at some of them.
Okay, let's see. Let's see.
Commonly,
Let's see.
You might find Scarabs that simply grant access to different content.
Alva.
Here, we have a
Scourge.
Scarab that causes Beyond Demons to spawn when killing monsters in your maps. And here, we have one that adds a Delirium Mirror.
Very
Each type of
good.
Scarab now has multiple versions.
And there's a
So
double
if you want
winged.
to fully invest
There's a
in this
double
type of
winged.
content, you can do so.
There's a double
Here's a
winged.
suite of Ultimatum Scarabs.
Yeah, because
This
everyone loved
Ultimatum
Ultimatum.
Scarab adds an Ultimatum encounter to a map.
Okay.
This Ultimatum Scarab of bribing then causes that Ultimatum encounter to grant better rewards and its monsters to yield more experience.
Oh, in 2 rounds,
This
whatever.
Ultimatum Scarab of dueling will cause that Ultimatum encounter to always guarantee the Trial Master
Yes!
boss fight at the end.
That's what I
assuming you can survive
wanted!
through all the rounds.
Yes!
This Ultimatum Scarab of catalyzing will cause all rewards
Yes!
in the Ultimatum to be catalyzed
Yes!
instead of other rewards. And
Yes!
finally, this Ultimatum Scarab of Inscription will cause all
Oh!
rewards from that Ultimatum to be
Yes!
inscribed Ultimatums instead.
Useful!
There are
Yes!
plenty of others. If you enjoy
Divination, come on.
card farming, you might want
Bounce
to use
it over.
these. This Divination Scarab of Curation causes more Divination cards to drop for each different favorite map you have selected. But it also causes whatever map you're running to only drop Divination cards from those favored maps. So if
Yes!
you want to try and aim for your Mage Blood and don't want to just farm Crimson Temple, then this Scarab is for you.
Yes!
This Divination Scarab of Completion causes your Divination cards to have a 20% chance to drop as a full stack and
Yes!
for maximum dopamine.
Good!
Basically, there are now just a lot of
Great!
Scarabs. You might have also noticed that they no
They're
longer have tiers.
icons!
Scarabs are now all world drops. You can get them anywhere.
Great!
Some might be rarer than others, but the intention is that there'll be a lot more options than before. and
Yes,
more
I'm
interesting
wet! Let's
combinations to
go!
consider. If you want to target specific Scarabs,
Of course,
Betrayal has
Betrayal.
been updated to include most of them.
How are you
and you'll
doing
need to
Betrayal?
relearn which ones come from where.
Okay.
While this system is allowing you to heavily invest in one type of content, it is reducing your capacity for variety.
Okay.
To address this, we have massively increased access to content on the Atlas passive tree.
What the
You are now
fuck?
able to reliably get different leagues like Breach or Legion from
That's
just your
insane!
Atlas passives.
That's a buff of Wandering Path on
Regarding
everything!
marksmanship, content such as Incursion, Delve, Betrayal, and Bestiary,
They can do...
these too are now accessible with Scarabs.
Yes.
And have more reliable investment options on the
Good.
tree.
Yes, of course. Good.
Not
Good.
only this, you can now get Jun, Einhar, Alva, and Nico to appear together in the same map.
Very good. Yes.
We have also removed
Yes.
some keystones such as Wandering Path, Grand Design,
Yeah.
and Growing Hordes.
See?
But have added some new ones too.
Yep.
For example, Unwavering Vision,
Cannot be modified by fragments, divine vessels, scarabs cannot be found, grants 20 Atlas skill points. Oh my
Back
god.
to Basics,
Your maps randomly have 0 to 80, but this cannot appear, cannot apply influence. Oh
and
my god.
Thorough
If
Exploration.
there are fewer than 50 monsters, final map bosses are empowered by affliction wisps. Oh my god!
And we have added some new notables such as Remarkable Relics.
Scarabs are
Allow
more
you
likely to
try
be less
find
common
better
variant.
variants of Scarabs.
They didn't remove the 10 intelligence.
Mounting modifiers.
2%
which
increase the effect of
increases
modifiers.
values of modifiers on your maps by 2% for each explicit modifier.
are gonna make so
And Tainted Carapaces, which is
Scarabs
just one
drop.
in a set of many that allow you to target farm specific types of scarabs. These are just a few
Login.
of the many new notables that can be found on the Atlas passive skill tree.
Login. I'll have to rework
Lastly,
every
we are
video.
giving you more flexibility in what content you want to run in the endgame.
Bonus
In
objectives.
324, you can now have multiple copies of the Atlas tree.
Yes,
which
we
can be
saw.
swapped between maps
We
at your
saw.
leisure. You can unlock up to 2 extra trees for a total of 3.
Login, dude. Hey, Vista.
Game and completing core content.
Login, dude.
When
Login.
you open a map, you can select which tree you would like to use. For
Oh,
a given league, you
yes.
never feel constrained to playing your
Yes.
endgame a single way. Also
Yes.
label your trees to easily identify
Yes.
which one has which content.
That's
With
last
all this
epoch. You don't have the
combined,
PoE
we're
one.
hoping to see new endgame strategies shine through.
Yes.
While playing through the campaign in
Oh my God.
324, you'll notice a myriad of small improvements and surprises.
Shh.
The fundamentals of the campaign are still intact, but we've scattered fun encounters and secrets throughout Rayclast. The Dweller of the Deep has been trapped. What are these ritual shrines doing in the northern forest? And why are they giving me omens?
Oh.
This device looks safe.
No.
Definitely use
No.
this in your
Yes. Yes.
There are plenty more encounters to discover. We'll continue adding more surprises in future releases, so keep an eye out. In the previous
Yes!
expansion, 323, we released a large number of transfigured
Yes,
skill
dude.
gems.
Yes.
These are alternate versions of existing skill gems that function in very different ways, allowing for more build and gameplay variety. At the time, our aspirations were higher than we could achieve. We planned more gems than we could make. So, in 324, we're adding another set of transfigured gems that we have now finished.
Show some. Show some. Show.
Ice
Show.
shot,
Show.
Incinerate, Artillery Ballista,
Yes.
Tornado,
Film me. Film me.
Elemental
Yes.
Hit,
Yes.
Kinetic Blast,
Yes.
Poisonous Concoction,
Yes.
and lastly, Summon Holy Relic.
Yes.
Hopefully those of you who missed your favorite skill having a transfigured variant will get that here. We will certainly be adding more of these in the future, especially
course
for
they will.
skills that are missing them still. Of course, we'll also be doing a balance
KBF?
pass on the existing transfigured gems.
Look at that.
One of the main ones we're looking at is Kinetic Bolt of Fragmentation.
Oh.
As a
KBF.
result of this change, it is clear that the endgame potential of the Wander archetype really starts to suffer, mostly
Okay.
in the single target damage department.
They're changing
Due
KBF.
to this, we've added the new support gem, Sacred Wisps.
Sacred
This
wisps.
support
Oh my
gem
god.
causes supported skills to create 2 attached wisps for a duration. With these wisps, whenever you attack, they have a chance to also use the same skill.
Dude.
If you have enemies in your presence.
Dude.
And if there are any rare or unique enemies, they will always use the skill.
Dude.
That leads us into all the other quality of life features we're introducing in 324. And
Okay.
there's a shitload of them.
Yes.
Many of these have been revealed in teasers already, but here's a quick
A
summary.
shitload of them. Let's go.
We've added the automation
Fuck you.
and call to arms skill gems.
That one,
for
fuck
being
you.
able to
No.
trigger instant
No.
skills and
No.
walk
Fuck
runs
that.
without having
No.
to
No. No.
run
Fuck
until
automation.
left click.
Should see my yeah. Fuck
You can
that.
now hold down control and left
Big
click to
change.
automatically apply certain currency orbs until
Big
they
change.
achieve the desired result.
Big
before you
change.
run out. For
Yes.
example, You can hold down fusings until you reach maximum links.
Yes, very good. Big change. Good, very good.
You
More
will be able
gamble.
to control,
Yes,
shift,
control,
collect
shift, left
currency
click.
into
Yes,
a
we've
trade
seen.
window to automatically move
Yes.
all of that currency at once
Yes.
from your inventory.
Yes.
Detonate Dead now has clearer telegraphing effects.
This one's very good, by the way.
When
Mirage
you
Archie for
harvest
casters, yeah.
something, the item hover will always be visible, so you no longer have to mouse back and forth to see the results of your crafts. When you use a Val Orb on a map, the map no longer has a
Very
chance
good.
to become unidentified.
Instead,
Instead, it adds a new implicit.
hey, I mean,
We've
sweetie, they're
created a
changing
set of
stuff.
implicits that affect the areas in fun ways. Related to that, corrupted and mirrored items can now be identified.
Oh my god.
Breach hands
Finally.
now open upon approach, and
Yes.
no longer need to be clicked. Upgrades to Pantheon powers
Yes.
now apply to all characters in
Dude,
the league.
this league
You
is
no
called
longer
Yes
need to grind
League,
divine
dude. Just
crystals on
fill
each
me in.
character.
Just don't even
harvest
get me to
crafting, you
dinner.
can
Just
now
fuck
re-roll
me
Uber
immediately.
Elder
I'm ready.
Fragments dropped by the Shaper cannot be re-rolled into fragments dropped by the Elder.
More killing
and vice
potential, yeah,
versa.
more killing. More single target, right?
Regarding Betrayal, we're removing Ashling's crafting bench as a reward. Instead, Veiled Orbs now perform that function. They remove a mod and replace it with a Veiled mod. These orbs now drop from Katarina and are no longer a world drop. Flasks can now be corrupted by Val Orbs, giving random -10 to +10 quality. The capability to add extra quality to weapons, armors, and flasks has been removed from Betrayal. The Betrayal bench craft that converts an amulet to a talisman has been moved to Bestiary, and thus can be traded.
Yes.
Maven invitations no longer drop. Instead, when you have completed witnessing all bosses required to go to the Maven's arena, you can just talk to Karak, and he'll open a map device window with the invitation already in there,
Yes,
ready to be rolled.
indeed.
Valdo's maps that granted invitations now give scarabs.
Yes.
No more having to waste Guardian kills to try get invitations to drop.